Programming is sponsored by Sweet Bay. Sweet Bay is a bayfront village in Panama City designed to inspire natural and relaxed living with a dash of southern charm. The Sweet Bay community features parks, walking trails to the water, a future town center, and much more. It's got all the makings of a friendly neighborhood with everything you need, just a short walk away. For more information about the Sweet Bay community, call 844-35-SWEET or go online to sweetbayfl.com.
This is Coach's Corner.
Welcome, Commodore fans, to Coach's Corner, a production of Gulf Coast State College and the digital media program here at the college. So Coach Jay Powell and I will talk about how the Commodores should have done last week and what they got coming up this week. And when I say should have done, had two games, a scrimmage games, Coach, and then you had a regular season game, both canceled last week. So Commodores' overall record right now still 0-0, ranked number 10 in state coaches poll. So let's talk first about the scrimmage game you lost Thursday, Coach.
Well, yeah, it was kind of odd but understandable. It was a preseason scrimmage on Thursday night, and we were going to play a preparatory academy. And I did not, since Pensacola State College had scheduled that scrimmage for Thursday night and the game on Friday night, I was unaware until Monday. Last Monday that game had been canceled because the preparatory academy, after the hurricane came through, has not gotten back to being operational, basically. So that's understandable. An act of God, natural disaster impacted that school, and so fair enough, we understood. And so I went to Pensacola Thursday night and drove over there along with Coach Jackson to scout Southwest Tennessee Community College, used to be Shelby State Community College there in Memphis. And they were playing Pensacola State College Thursday night, and then we were scheduled to play Southwest Tennessee State Community College on Friday at 5 p.m. It was a triple overtime game. Southwest Tennessee has a nice team, we knew that. And they defeated Pensacola by 1 point in triple overtime Thursday. And so as I was walking out of the stands after the game and crossed paths with Southwest Tennessee's coach, Coach Nichols, I said, good win, Coach, tomorrow night at 5, right? And much to my surprise, his reply was that his men, after a triple overtime game, would be tired. Were tired, and he had not had a chance to scout Gulf Coast, and so he was going to call his athletic director and go home and not play us Friday. So I kind of took that like that was surprising, but sometimes, times are different. Sometimes people say things right after a game that, maybe they don't mean. But then around 11 p.m., Coach Penna from Pensacola State called and said he had been on the phone approximately 20 minutes with the coach at Southwest Tennessee Community College, and sure enough, he thinks that they're going home in the morning and not going to play the game against us on Friday. And I still kind of thought maybe it was just post-game excitement after a big win for them. And sure enough, Friday morning, Coach Scovel is our athletic director, called the athletic director, who fortunately did answer the phone in his office at Southwest Tennessee and confirmed that they were on the bus back to Memphis. So no game on Friday afternoon, and I had to come in and tell the guys, I don't know, I know that you're planning on having a pregame walkthrough or practice today, but we're going to need to practice a little bit. We'll take Saturday off. We practiced Sunday afternoon, so we practiced yesterday, and our first game will be Tuesday night. This is my 13th year as being a head coach overall, and 13, 15, 18. So this is my 18th or 19th year in coaching, and then I've played organized basketball on school-related teams since I was in kindergarten, and I've never experienced this before. But again, it's 2017, and we're experiencing things we never have before, where a coach, I guess, can just decide that I don't want to play because my men are tired and I haven't had an opportunity to scout. So It was what it was, and now we're ready for our first game tomorrow night, Tuesday at home.
So with all that being said, I know at least in high school, if you had somebody do that, it was a forfeit and you picked up a win. But in your case, you're still 0-0.
Very odd that that's not a forfeit. You know, if they weren't able to make the trip for some reason, I could see how it would be a no contest. But, you know, we're just going to, I guess, try to take the high road and be positive and go on about our business.
And move on. So Commodores will play tomorrow night at home.
That's right. We're excited about that. We play Coastal Alabama South. For people that have been in the area for a while, that used to be Faulkner State Community College in Bay Minette, Alabama. There are 3 schools that have kind of combined in some aspects, but they still have their own athletic departments, and the college the college campuses are all still up and running. I believe there's a Coastal Alabama East, Coastal Alabama North, and a Coastal Alabama South, 3 institutions now. But again, they play their own sports schedules and still have their own athletic teams at each campus. So we're excited about that. They are 1-0. They played Bevel State Community College in Alabama last Thursday, and they won by 11 points. 86-75, I believe. So we're going to have to be prepared and ready to go. At this point, though, I know that the men are ready to play. I just hope that we can remain focused and on the task at hand and be on point and go out there and play really well tomorrow night.
Yeah, because when you get up and you're ready for that first game, then the letdown, and then having to do that, and plus that's a game I always liked playing on the road first before I ever came home, because that way you had a chance to work out all the things that you need to work out before you play at home. And so
there's some truth to that.
In this case, Coach, they're going to play at home at 6 o'clock in Billy Harrison Fieldhouse. So come out and watch the game and see how the men do there. They're a different team this year. And then when we move on from there, you're going to go up and play Friday and Saturday up in Georgia.
Yes. So we play Atlanta Metro Friday night. They're always an athletic team. Their coach has been there for a long time, does a good job with them. Friday night, we'll see. We play at 6 p.m. Eastern Time in Barnesville, Georgia, on Gordon State College's campus. Nice gym, beautiful campus they have there in Barnesville. And so we'll play them Friday night, and then on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we will play Gordon State College, who's very talented. They have a really nice team. I would say them and Georgia Highlands are preseason. I'm not saying they are ranked number 1 and 2 in the state of Georgia, and they have an excellent chance to go to Hutch to represent their region this year. So, right away, we're getting after it, and we're going to play the best competition we can. I'm excited. Tuesday night first, of course, but I'm excited about our trip because it will begin to provide some adversity. We'll wake up Friday morning, we'll bus the 6 hours to Barnesville. We'll get off the bus, try to get loose, and we'll play. Go get some sleep for a few hours, wake up Saturday, get ourselves going, and play again before we get finished with the game and bus the 6 hours right back to Panama City. So it'll be good for our team, good for us to see where we are and see what we need to work on for the rest of the season.
So Commodores will open this week.
Yeah, we have 3 opportunities.
We have 3 opportunities.
I feel very certain that we will get in a game.
You would normally think, okay, they're automatic, but I guess after what happened last week, they're not automatic. If we look at the state coaches poll, Northwest Florida State ranked number 1, Eastern Florida State ranked number 2, Chipola 3, Tallahassee 4, Florida Southwestern 5, tied for 6 is St. Pete and Palm Beach State, Central Florida 8, Daytona State 9, and Gulf Coast State College 10. Now those rankings will change. I think the next poll comes out on Tuesdays.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
It should come out tomorrow.
So it'll come out and see how that works out. If we look at what happened in the conference, Northwest Florida State, they've won 3 games, played Wednesday, then Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. And so Chipola College has played 2. Tallahassee and won both, and Tallahassee has played 2 in Missouri and won both. That's a long road trip. And Pensacola State College is 0-1 because we talked about the game they lost in triple overtime by 1. So that's kind of how the conference did, Coach. Any wisdom out of how they all started?
Not too much. Northwest Florida State and Chipola both defended home. Northwest Florida State did go on the road and play Coastal Alabama North, which is a tough place to play. Used to be Alabama Southern Community College. So that was a good road win for them. Pensacola, as we mentioned, they did come up a little short, but it was triple overtime. And at the end of regulation, the first overtime and the second overtime, Pensacola had shots to win the game as time expired. So, it was one of those, could have gone either way. They could just as easily be 1-0 right now. Right. So another good year of Panhandle Conference basketball. You touched on Tallahassee going up to Missouri. They played Mineral Area, and I believe it was Three Rivers Community Colleges. They're good programs for that part of the country. And so I would guess that those are good wins. It's definitely different, down here in Florida and in the South, but as far as what teams are like, but I'm sure that was a good trip for them to pick up 2 wins.
So they all got opportunities and all out of the gate. Commodores will come out of the gate tomorrow night in the Billy Harrison Fieldhouse. We'll talk briefly, Coach, about intramurals. Intramurals are back, and several men's teams played this year. Congratulations to a team that won. You and I, your assistant coach was taking care of this, and he took a coaching slot somewhere else, and so all this. But, the only thing I know about them is 3 of the young men played for me at one time.
That's cool.
So they won 52-51. And Gulf Coast trying to grow their intramurals program. So there was, I think, 6 teams in it this year, and they're trying to grow it, and some other teams. So if you're out there and you like basketball and you're still playing, put a team in next year and play in intramurals. We gave out, looks like, championship T-shirts and hats to the team. So you can go on the webpage and pull up and actually see the young men with their championship T-shirts and hats.
Yeah, it's cool. For the campus life and the college student life, to have intramurals is a great thing. We've had basketball now. There's an opportunity to have volleyball and/or flag football in the late fall or spring terms, possibly. Softball in the future, potentially. And so just to get things going, if men or women, they finish high school, or if they're coming back later in life, remaining active, competing, playing sports. Not everybody is at the level to be able to play at the collegiate level. So club sports and intramural sports, that's just an awesome thing. I played flag football when I was in college and loved it. We had a good time. And so just something else, I think that Dr. Honak and Coach Scovel and the Student Government Association, they all did a lot of work to make sure that this happened. We partnered with Florida State University, Panama City. We opened it up to the community where people could come and play. And so just a neat thing on campus to get that campus life and that campus vibe going. So we're excited about that. And like you mentioned, I think we had 6 teams. Maximum could have been 8. We didn't really know what to expect, so we were happy and pleased with that. And we'll see where it leads and see where it goes. But just another thing that's going to be able to separate Gulf Coast State College and make us a wonderful place and a wonderful decision for people that are deciding where to go to school.
So, okay, with all that being said, Commodore fans, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor with Coach Scovel and talk about how the Lady Commodores did this past week.
Programming is sponsored by Sweet Bay. Sweet Bay is a bayfront village in Panama City designed to inspire natural and relaxed living with a dash of southern charm. The Sweet Bay community features parks, walking trails to the water, a future town center, and much more. It's got all the makings of a friendly neighborhood with everything you need, just a short walk away. For more information about the Sweet Bay community, call 844-35-SWEET or go online to sweetbayfl.com.
Welcome back, Commodore fans. Coach Scovel and I are going to talk about Lady Commodores, how they did and what they got coming up. Back-to-back defending national champions, 2-0 overall. Right now, ranked number 1 in the state coaches poll, ranked number 1 in the NJCA national poll. But the biggest thing is, right now we're 2-0, Coach.
Right. Got to figure out how to win the next game, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, I'm sure.
So you opened up against Sneed's State Community College, played over at Niceville, which is in the arena.
Yes.
Which is a very nice place to play a basketball game. Won 94-41, won all 4 quarters, 30-10, 21-13, 24-6, 19-12. So if you look at just those numbers, opening game, that's a pretty good outing.
Yeah, it was, to have basically a brand new team. Julia Dunlap was the only returning player that had significant minutes, but we didn't even have a returning player that averaged double figures playing. And with Shayla Bennett out, Julia Dunlap's the only one that actually did play last year. So to walk into the first game and for our freshmen to step up like they did offensively, defensively, we were kind of we got a lot of work to do to figure out the team thing. But offensively, the running game looked really good at times. It looked good at other times, and then some. We need to get back in the gym as quickly as we can today and go to work.
Well, when you look at that and you say you scored 30 points in 1 quarter,
yeah,
that's a pretty good offensive outing.
Yeah, I think the thing that kind of impressed me is that from last year to this year we picked up some size and some post play, and we kept saying we felt like our post game was pretty strong, and all those young ladies that split all the minutes in that first game, I think they scored about 70 of our 90-something points. So it's a little bit in reverse of last year, where Taylor Emery, being the perimeter player, scored most of our points, and Shayla in our perimeter game was a bigger factor. But so it looks like we've reversed roles a little bit. So if we can get the guards shooting like the post did in that first game, we're going to be okay.
And if you look at that, Dunlap naturally had 16 points, and she's a returning player, and you're going to expect that pretty much every
Absolutely, and she probably didn't play near as well as she's capable. I think probably the shining moment for the first game was probably Dominique Banks, who came in and probably played 20, 25 minutes and had 26 points and some block shots and did some nice things, even though I think the tallest player may have come up to her mid-waist. But at the end of the day, you still have to perform and you have to do the right things, and she played well within herself and stayed pretty disciplined offensively. And so that was, on that particular day, I think our shining moments were the post game of the new players.
Well, and in that case, like you said, she was 12 of 16 from the floor, 26 points, played 24 minutes, and fouled out.
Yeah.
So, and in the arena, I mean, that's a great outing for there. So
anything in the arena, first game, first college game, all the the shot clocks, everything that's involved. That was a great effort, but not just her. Alexis Dye played well, Keyshawn Johnson played well. We have a lot of newness.
And newness in there. Dye, you spoke of, scored 16 points. Dunlap had 16. Is it Jeter?
Kiana Jeter.
Had 16, and Johnson had 10. So those were all double-digit scoring for you.
Right.
First night out, and 1 quarter we held them to 6 points.
Yeah.
And I've always watched that third quarter has always been a really good quarter for the Lady Commodores. I don't know what you do in the locker room, but they seem to come out and play a little different.
Yeah, well, you get a chance to rest. You get a chance to kind of take your breath. You get a chance to tell them what they did wrong and see if you can get a response. And we did talk about the defensive end and how it wasn't near ready to play panhandle play. We're going to give it. We fouled so many. Everybody, I think every player, 6 players had 2 fouls at halftime. 1 had 3. Very undisciplined defensively. So we talked about the defense quite a bit at half. So it was kind of nice to see us adjust to that in the third quarter, that we did respond to what we talked about. Now, the second day we talked about it and we didn't get the same response. But anyway, that first game was a great first game. We got a lot of work to do to get ready to play big-time basketball, but at least kind of like we said, we were glad we were in our locker room instead of the other one.
So, and it looked like 15 turnovers for the game.
Yeah.
For an opening game.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Right.
So, and then the next night, we went back over and played Val State. Won 96-42.
Yeah.
Here again, 28-11, 24-8, 32-14, and then 12-9 for a total of 96-42. Another high-scoring offensive game for the Lady Commodores.
Right. And then it had to reverse roles a little bit there because our scoring, Kiana Jeter led us. They played a zone most of the night. So, we kept saying we have to have a lot of different weapons according to what people are going to try to do to stop us. And so it was nice to see Kiana shoot the ball so well. We've kind of, that's kind of been our dream for her to maybe replace Taylor. And she's athletic. Defensively, she's probably a better player than Taylor Emery. Offensively, it's a work in progress. But on that particular day, she was pretty special. She couldn't miss and then played well, and of course ended the game with 35 points.
35 points, 14 or 19 from the floor, 7 or 9 from three-point line.
Right.
And I saw her in practice, and it's like she's going to light it up because she can shoot the long ball. Like you said, she's athletic, she's smart. 35 points out of her. Dunlap with a double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds. So still a good night for her.
Yeah, that's going to be expected from Jalea. I think she has to give us a double-double for us to have a chance to compete in night in and night out, and especially as we move into the Panhandle Conference.
And then if you come down, Banks with 15 points, played 22 minutes, 5 of 9 from the floor. Not a bad night.
Yeah, no, it was a good weekend. Thankfully it was close to home, so the travel was wonderful, and got to play in their facility, and it's such a nice place, and so it was just a great weekend. Now for me the jury's out. How are we going to come in today, and go to work? And
so looks like, according to this coach, you only turned the ball over 8 times.
Yeah. If you see the scoring and how well we shot, and they were in a zone, so as we play together and learn what each other can do, that takes a lot, because when you play travel ball, as we criticize so much, you don't get that opportunity to work and get that precision and all that. So hopefully, as we move forward, that will get even better.
It'll get better there. So now all of a sudden, we open at home Friday night at Billy Harrison Fieldhouse. At 6 o'clock against Vin Sims, ranked number 23 in the country.
They're probably better than that. They're averaging 108 points a game in their first 3 games here in the season, and they went to the national tournament last year, I believe, and so I know that Harry, he'll have them ready, and we always have a hard time with Vin Sims. So, if I know we won't have Stu, and I'm not sure we probably won't have Shayla either, and that may be a night that we're gonna wish we did have them. We're going to have to play much better defense to be successful this Friday.
And like you said, they're ranked 23rd, and they're making a long trip from Indiana down here, and then they're going to play Tallahassee on Saturday at 2 p.m.
Yeah, Harry, he plays. He plays a tough schedule, and he travels. He loves to come to Panama City, and so I'm excited to see him. We're longtime friends and longtime coaches too. Both of us are probably getting too old to do it anymore, but. He's got a lot of fire and a lot of passion, and I know that their team is definitely ready to come and get this target, go after this target.
Yeah, because back-to-back defending national champions, that puts a target on you.
Absolutely.
And Gulf Coast puts a target on you, so you have so many targets that any coach that's coaching a team against you shouldn't have to coach their team up.
No, they won't have to motivate them.
They don't have to motivate them. They shouldn't have to.
Right.
I mean, you've got every incentive in the world.
Absolutely.
You should lose, but if you win.
Yeah.
So and he's making that trip, and I saw we're in the schedule. He's playing down in Central Florida and all down through there a little bit too.
Yeah, Harry, like I say, he always has an extremely tough schedule, and he travels a lot, and he gets his team ready, and at the end of the day, they're usually a powerhouse, and they end up at the national tournament most of the time.
And so in this time last year, we talked a little bit about it. We had a lot of nationally ranked teams we were playing.
Yes.
Here's one here, and Walter State coming up in a few weeks, ranked number 11 in the country. Somebody scheduled a lot of national ranked teams again.
Well, you're not going to win at the highest level if you don't play the best teams. And, I think Shelton State comes along in there too in December, and they just beat Walters by 30 or 40. So interestingly enough, and she has almost everybody back. Right. She finished 3rd last year at the national tournament. So there's some exciting games. I think that the Lady Commodores, I think we as a group kind of have to get committed to taking on these challenges. I think we've got to get more committed at practice on a day-to-day basis. I think our effort has to get a little more consistent to get disciplined and work on the things that we don't do well and try to polish the things that we do well.
So, and you talked about Shelton State. They're ranked 3rd in the country right now.
Yeah,
so, and you're right. She has a nice.
She has a veteran team. Yeah.
So they'll be seasoned, and So there'll be something to deal with, like
Absolutely.
you said, in December.
Absolutely.
If we run down quickly, this is preseason national poll.
Yeah.
This is a snapshot basically from
Yeah.
last year and what they think about this year. Gulf Coast 1, Chipola 4, Tallahassee 7, Northwest Florida State 15, Florida Southwestern 19.
Yeah.
So,
Florida Southwestern just beat Chipola over the weekend.
well, that's where I was going
Yeah,
next,
I
Coach. I
know.
mean, if we look at our standings right now in the Panhandle Conference, Gulf Coast won both of theirs, Northwest Florida won both of theirs, Tallahassee won both of theirs, and Chipola went 1-1. So
Yeah, Florida Southwestern's got a really nice team, and I think Chipola was on the road, and that's what we try to say every day. If you don't bring your A game, you're going to be in that locker room where you wish you weren't.
and so and like you said, Chipola's another one that everybody wants to beat.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, in other words, and they lost 72-69.
Right.
But everybody else in the conference, Northwest Florida put up 106 points.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have a nice team. I got to watch them, and they got a lot of depth. They can stay fresh. Got a lot of girls coming off the bench, and I can't really figure out who the best players are, because they've got some really nice ones that substitute in, and he's done a great job. They're very disciplined. So Bart's kind of got them going.
So and then they came back and followed with an 89
Yeah.
point win.
Right.
So two nice offensive nights
Yeah.
for them. But now they're playing at home
Yeah.
in their place.
But they played much better defense than we did. They really locked up on Snead and Ball State, and so we'll see. We had 2 games. They're behind us. We got a really tough game this Friday, and we need to get ready.
And so Tallahassee picked up 2 wins, not huge numbers, but
Well, they went to a tournament and played. Arkansas Baptist has a really nice team, and they went to their tournament and got a big victory. Japonica James had a triple-double, and it wasn't good news for us. Good for her because she's such a talented player, but a triple-double in your first game back out for the year, that's a little bit scary.
And so the only one in our conference that didn't play any this past week was Scovel.
Yeah.
So if you want to see a great basketball game, you have to come out Friday night.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Lady Commodores will be at home. They're going to play the 23rd ranked team in the country. If you like basketball, fundamental basketball, you're going to see it.
Absolutely.
And so how important it is for the Lady Commodores to have fans in the stands?
Oh, they're always, they're kind of your sixth man and get you through some rough times. And our fans understand basketball so well, and they embrace us so much. You would almost swear they're at practice every day, because they kind of know when and how and why, and so it's tremendous. And we certainly hope that people will come out Friday night. It will be Veterans Night here at the gym. We'll be recognizing a military person before the game. He'll do the tip-off, and somebody who's in the reserves and spent some time in the military, we'll introduce him at the game, and he'll do the initial tip-off, so it'll be free to all veterans, and then we'll be recognizing our veterans that night. So hopefully not only we bring our fans, but our military friends and community members too.
So for Coach Scovel, I'm James Baxley. Thanks for watching, Commodore fans, and we'll see you next time on the Commodore Sports Network.
This has been Coach's Corner with your host, James Baxley.